Tasty, tasty. Incredible. Hey guys, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. It's Monday, not Sunday, it is Monday. And we have a Geonworks F18X to build today. And Aos did get first, saying not first, but he was first, so he got first. Perlin Merlin's here as well. Jellymaster here's too. IoTCL says yay. Hey man, good to see you. Andromeda Keats, thank you so much for the 10 months of subs. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It says, evening Jay in chat. Hope you're all doing amazingly well. Yeah, I'm good. It's been a long day. I'm pretty tired, I'll be honest. So today at the workshop, Mel and I packed a lot of orders and we did some paperwork and we caught up with some other bits. And I'm well aware that I haven't replied to a ton of DMs, but I will get to them tomorrow. And then we started to tidy up the workshop because there's been loads of stuff that's just been put in places that it didn't belong. And because we've been so busy for so long, we thought we'd have a proper clear out. So that's what we did today. Thank you so much, I4L, for the subscription. I really appreciate that, my man. So yeah, so we literally went inch by inch through the workshop from the front shutter door all the way to up to Mel's packing tables is where we kind of got to. We went through every single box, we went through every single tub, every single bit of storage, making sure we knew what was there, undoing it, finding out which bits were my stuff that should really be at home and shouldn't be here, which bits should really be in the office and not in the workshop. And we basically just blitzed it. We're going to do the other half tomorrow, and then later on in the week on Friday we're going to do the office. So we're going to try and split it into 3, but it's a big task and it's just something that's been needing doing for a while, so pretty tired, but it was a good day. It was a very productive day. Sticky says, evening everyone. Hey man, good to see you. Objective is here as well. Future 808. Aziz is here as well, says can't wait. Aziz, I think this is your board we're building today, I think. Oh wow, didn't expect that. There you go, man. There you go. Glad to finally catch another of your streams. I feel like it's been a little while since I've been here. Well, nothing wrong with being here right now. Hershey, hey man, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Today we are going to build an F18X for Z's.
Incredible.
Civilized Monk, thank you so much for the follow, man. Thank you so much. We're building it with hold on, let me remind myself the name of the switches. Graphite gold switches. I couldn't remember the name of them. Graphite gold switches, which I have here. These have been all pre-lubed, sent to me, ready to go. The only little bit of lubing we need to do today, which is good, is the stabilizers, which is included. So we'll pop these in the board, and we're going to build it without a plate today. We're going to build it on the little Geonworks tabs that hold it all together, without it being plate mounted. So I've never done that on any of my F18Xs, even though I do have a kit, so it'll be my first time trying that out. Oh my, hey man, good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate that. Let's start off with a little bit of PT news. I did say we'd start off with some PT news. I'm hoping that we're not going to have any extras going in stock this week. Try and give you guys a break and your wallets a break. We are going to have some more stuff going in stock towards the end of next week. Because we've got some group buys that have arrived this week. That's mainly going to be a few things, like a couple of desk mat orders which have arrived, and a ton of extras of Hebe caps and Rama caps. So if you like metal artisans, keep an eye out for those. I will announce on Discord middle of next week when that's going to go live, but it'll probably be Friday 6 PM like we usually do drops, because it's just easier to manage that way. So yeah, so I have no idea what's in there yet. I need to go through it all. There's like been boxes arrive over the past couple of weeks and envelopes and things, so I just need to sit down and go through it. But I think there's actually some RAM and macro pads included as well, so we'll just go through it. We'll put whatever we need to do for the group buy to one side, where people are waiting for keycap sets. We'll put all of the orders out where people have just ordered these parts out. We'll get them shipped, and then we'll have all of the extras ready to go in stock. So that's the plan. We do have some more stuff coming for in stock. So we had GMK Minimal in, and you guys bought it out. So we restocked it, and you guys bought it out. So we're going to restock it again. So I'm hoping we'll have GMK Minimal in stock next week as well. That will go in stock next Friday too. We've got some more Canon Keys cap sets coming as well. I'm just waiting to hear what days we can release those, and then we'll get those live as well. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at for the next couple of weeks. We do have a massive order coming in from China as well. It's on its way right now. The boat is in the English Channel. It should hit port later this week, we think. I think it's currently waiting for a berthing point in the port, so we just need to wait for that to land, and then we need to wait for it to go through customs. So another couple of weeks and it should be here, but that's a full 40-foot container's worth, so there's like a lot of pallets in there, a lot of boxes. It's probably going to take us a good month to get through all of it. There is that much coming that it's going to take us a good month to just sort through, start shipping stuff out, work out what extras, but there is Zoom 65 EE in there, there is Icky Roar Round 2 in there, there is a ton of different stuff, and we're just going to have to work through and see what we've got. We'll try and do it in the kind of like largest group buy to smallest and just try and work through that way, as well as a bit of a mix of oldest outstanding group buy to newest outstanding group buy, just so people aren't waiting as long. So we'll try and work it through, but for the both of us it's going to take a good month to get through. Yeah, it's got the Zoom EE editions in there, as well as some other bits and pieces as well. Oxy, hey man, good to see you. Thanks very much for being here. As well as those coming in stock, I think there's something like, I don't know, there's a load of switches on there. There's over 100,000 switches coming in. There's over 20,000 desk mats in this shipment. And there's a ton of other stuff as well. I can't remember exactly what's on the list, but there's a load of stuff coming. I will start to update Notion as we go through, and there's a few group buys that haven't been added to Notion that I need to add, so I'll get those on there in the next day or so, and make sure that those are all up to date. Cute streamer, thank you, King Alera, thank you so much, I appreciate that. I'm not cute, but I'll take it. So yeah, so that's all coming in. It does mean we're going to have a bit of an issue with storage, as Perlin Merlin's just alluded to. We're really struggling with space already. We've moved one of the cars out of here, and we've now filled that space. We're probably going to have to try and condense a lot of the stock that we have and try and make it take up less space on the shelves. We'll spend a day doing that probably next week before the large shipment arrives, and then when all that comes in, we'll just work pallet at a time, and we'll see how it goes. But the plan is for most of these products to be in stock, so maybe before they go in stock, we'll try and have a bit of a quick sale to get rid of some of the other stuff that's in stock, as well as people buying in stock every day, because there's a lot of stuff in stock. We have more in stock now than we ran in group buys in our first year, which is kind of crazy. Like the first year prototype was running, if you added all the different group buys together that we ran in that first year, we now have more different items in stock than we ran in that entire first year. It's absolutely crazy.
Tasty.
So yeah, that's where we're at. Pre-orders available. Yeah, so we have, I think when we worked it out the other day, I think we have 85 key sets that we're going to put up for pre-order next week. Maybe if we have chance, it'll be late this week, but I know we can do it for next week. We might not get it done for this week, so I don't want to promise that and then not be able to deliver on it. But we have 85-ish key sets that we're going to put up for pre-order that aren't already for pre-order very soon, so within the next 7 to 10 days. I think that's the plan for those. So yeah, lots more pre-orders becoming available. Keychron Q8, the Alice ISO for Everyday Man. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm not keen on how they've done the ISO integration for the Alice section of it, because it kind of ruins the rest of the Alice layout a little bit, but it's great that people are into it, so yeah. We won't be stocking that at the minute, but we might be looking at Keychron products going forwards. We'll see. Kenny Trist sold their first board today. Congratulations. There's an old school Victorian phone booth outside. Seems to offer in there. I wish there was. I wish we did have a TARDIS. Vintage Kish, hey man, good to see you. Thank you so much for the sub, man. I appreciate that, my dude. So yeah, we're going to have to see what we can do. We'll have to create some space. Maybe we will have to take on the unit next door. Who knows? Yeah, we'll see how that goes. So that's kind of it for PT news. Not too much to share other than a ton of pre-orders coming, a ton of in-stock stuff coming as always, loads of stuff in stock right now. Go check it out. You might see something you want to buy. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Oh, and the Monoke standard, 140 quid for a TKL that has switches, keycaps, PCB, case, carry case, cable, all included. 140 quid including VAT. Pretty good deal. You might want to check that out. Right, okay, time to crack on with the build today. So as I said, we are building a Matrix. No, we're not building a Matrix. We've built so many Matrix. We're building a Geonworks F18X for these. These are the switches. These are the graphite gold switches. I've never used these, so I have no idea whether they're even tactile or linear. We'll have a look. Okay, so they're a linear. Looks like a nylon housing. Looks like nylon top and bottom. With a POM stem. They're pretty smooth. These have been lubed and filmed. I'm not quite sure how they've been lubed or which films are in them, but perhaps these can confirm. They're pretty nice. Whoops, nearly dropped that one switch. F18X stabilizers. These are the stabilizers we'll be using today. These are not from my stock. These are from the customer themselves. So we'll be putting these in the board today. We will be building an ANSI with full backspace, step caps lock, and full left and right shifts. So that's just how we're going to build it. That's how the customers requested it. So that's how we're going to do it. Okay, in fact, just going to get up a picture that the customer sent me of how they want it building, just so I've got it in the background. Okay, I know I have this picture. There we go. I have the picture to one hand. Right. Okay. The mouse is washed and clean. So the issue we have is this is a workshop. So where we are right now, this is an office space. The workshop is through there. So this mouse is about 2 years old now, and this is clean. Like, we can't clean this off. This is where the mouse has just deteriorated. It gets used for maybe 8 or 9 hours every single day, and sometimes, depending on what we're doing in the workshop, if we're doing QC or unpacking boxes from China, hands get grubby, things like that. So this has been cleaned with Dettol wipes like every morning before we start work, but that's just how it looks now. That's just how it looks. It's not about the mouse being clean or dirty. It is as clean as we can get it, but the only way to get rid of that would be to strip it off and recoat the plastic and repaint it. But because it's that rubberized texture, you'll never get it perfectly clean. That's just the way it is. It's just used at, literally just used in the workshop. So this is a workspace. This isn't my home office. This isn't like some pristine like little studio or something like that. This is like, if I could turn the camera around and show you, you'd literally see there is piles of key sets, piles of keyboards, all over the place, and then literally through that door is where we film our Insta stories every day. It's a full-on workshop, 2,500 square feet of workshop. So but we have tools and trucks coming every day, and DPD delivery and FedEx delivery and DHL delivery and collection. So unfortunately, it's not like a home use case where we can keep these things clean. It just doesn't work like that. Dry ice blaster will clean it. What they use for car chassis. So yeah. So in my spare time, I do restore classic cars. That's something else that I do. If I use that on this would completely strip the mouse down to its bare components. Media blasting anything will not necessarily clean it. It will disintegrate it and remove the top layer of everything. And on something like this, it would just destroy it. Don't need to look it up. Okay. Dry ice blaster is kind of like media blasting. Like, if you use it, it won't clean this. It won't clean rubber materials. It will just destroy it. It will pit it and remove it all. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, if you're not happy with my mouse, that's not my problem. There we go. It is what it is. It's a workshop mouse. It doesn't have to be clean. You're not using it. There it is. Right. Okay. On to the build. It's not worth the effort because we've got like 3 or 4 of them. There's another one in the workshop just outside, and it's literally a work mouse. It's not a home use mouse. It's like this shouldn't even be something that's an argument. Like, there's literally no reason to argue over this because it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect anything. This is the board we're going to build today. Let's show you what we've got in here. Let's see what's in here first. Oh, this is the O-ring that we'll need for installing the PCB and plate mount. Hey Arcana, thanks very much for being here. Just got back from traveling all day. Where have you been, man? We also have some spare screws. We also have the screws. These are the screws that are used for the plateless mounting kit, which is actually here. So these are kind of like grub screws, and I'll show you how that works when we get around to it. And then in here we have, I think this will be the rubber feet, I think. Yeah, it looks like bits of rubber. What's your thoughts on the F1? I have 5 or 6 F18Xs. Yes, these are just the little rubber pads. There we go. I have 5 or 6 F18Xs. It's one of my favorite keyboards. Portacento, nice. Then here we have the PCB. Should be able to just slide this out the end here, I think. I've not used the graphite gold switches. They feel pretty smooth, but I haven't actually put them in a board yet to try them, so we'll see how that goes. There's the PCB. This is the standard, I think this is the Fave PCB that comes with it. Yeah, the Galateo PCB. All looks good. We will test this out and try it out and make sure it works before we build. And here is the board. How cool is this? This is a lilac F18X, one of the very few colours that I don't have. It's also the F13 version, which none of my boards are. You can see the 6 brass weights in there. Isn't that a thing of beauty? Super nice profile still. How cool is that? Super beautiful board. So you guys, I have pulled out some keycaps so we can test the board later on, and you guys will get to pick what keycaps we use for the board. But how beautiful is this? Look at that brass. So you can tune this board by changing and removing how the weights are installed inside. So usually I just have 3 top weights in my personal board, but you can have all 6 in here, or if you wanted to, you can go top, bottom, top, or whatever organization you wanted to. Here you can just have these 4 and leave those 2 empty. You can do multiple things with the weights, whatever you prefer. It is rare that they come with all 6, in most cases in my experience. Not all of my F18Xs did. Although I did buy some off the aftermarket. So yeah, we'll leave all of these in for the customer, but of course they're free to change and choose these how they would like to. Right, let's test the PCB before we do anything else. The burgundy colour Gion used on the F1 might just be my favourite colour on a keyboard ever. Yeah, it's a lovely colour, is the burgundy one. Must be hefty with the 6 weights. Yeah, we actually use the black one in the workshop quite often with 6 weights as well. It is pretty hefty. Right, let's just move this up and let's get some switch header software up so you guys can see the PCB working. Okay, is that going to show you switch hitter? Is it? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to plug the PCB in, and then once it's plugged in, we'll get some tweezers and we'll test it and see how it goes. Where's the tweezers? Okay, so we're going to be in switch hitter. We're just going to test each key, make sure it works as we go through. Escape's working. F2 works. F3, F4, F5, F6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 won't show, but we can see at the bottom that it is triggering. We can see that it's definitely triggering there, so we're good on that front. So we know the matrix works. Okay, all looking good so far. Oops. Test out the bottom row. Now this is wing keyless, so we don't need to check everything, but we will just for completeness, just so we know that it all works. Check the space bar. It's all looking good. Fairly confident we're not going to have any issues here. Check the shifts. Right, the bottom row done. Okay, looks like it's all working. Looks like every key is working just as it should be. So we can now proceed with the build without worry. Okay, first up, we're going to get the stabilizers in. Let's get rid of that. Is it lilac or lavender? I'm not sure which it's officially called. I think it's a lavender color, but it's lovely. Tomato, something like that. was going to make a joke about testing PCBs. I always test PCBs if it's not my board. With mine, I just have so many these days that it's just easier to not test. Yeah. So we've got the spacebar. We're going to be putting full backspace in. A inner sight enter. Right shift and left shift. 11 lac. Yeah, sure, we can call it 11 lac if you like. Buy another keyboard and use them, Sharkbait. Just buy another keyboard and use them, right? We'll get these lubed up nicely. Remember guys, it's always easy to add more lube later on than it is to remove it. So you don't have to go too gung-ho with the lube when you're lubing switches. That's the wrong brush. Where's the correct brush? Has my actual brush disappeared? Okay. This is a lube brush, but it's not the one I usually use, but it'll be fine. We'll cope. Oh, the middle part. Sorry, I thought you meant you'd had some spare actual films and you wanted to use them. I was going to suggest building something else with them. I don't really know. I like that you're very thrifty with them. That's good. That you're wanting to do something with them. That's always a good sign. But I'll be honest, I've never considered it. I don't use them for anything. Use them for the stab mods? Yeah, you could do. You could do. If you like how those stab mods feel, you could absolutely do that. Dislike waste. Same here, man. When we ship packages out, we use all recycled packaging. We don't use any newly created packaging. It's all recycled. Even down to our tape. The reason why our tape is brown is because we use recycled paper for the tape as well. All unbleached, and it's all still recyclable as well. So you can still go ahead and recycle or reuse our packaging if you would so wish. Like PC packaging, you use it where as possible. Yeah, we try and keep as much of the weight down as we can. The other thing we do that we don't really advertise as well is if you buy anything from us, we've automatically offset all of the carbon for the next 5 years on it. So irrespective of what item it is, we've worked out the carbon footprint of it and we offset it for 5 years. So everything you buy from PT is already carbon offset. Just to help out a little bit. Yeah, use a little bit of gentle persuasion to pop this in the board. There we go. That's the first stabilizer in. Time to move on to the NSI enter. Does that include your gigantic shipment? Yeah, all of our shipping's carbon offset as well. So we partner with DHL for the vast majority of our shipping, and that's all fully carbon offset as well. So the Royal Mail isn't yet. We do offset it separately, but it's not through partnership with Royal Mail. Whereas everything we ship with DHL is automatically offset by them. It was part of the contract agreement when we negotiated that a while back. So yeah, anything that we ship via DHL is carbon neutral. I think Mel was sorting out your stuff today.
Incredible.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Brilfire. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Fought the urges to add a load of blush linears. I'll send you some, man. I'll just send you some. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll have a chat with Mel tomorrow. Blush linears are really good actually for the price. They're really nice. Okay, so we're just cleaning off the brush there, just so we've got a very, very fine amount. And we're just going to lube the slider rails. Now, you don't want to put too much on here. You're not trying to gunk the stabilizer up. You're just trying to make sure that it moves nice and freely and doesn't get stuck on anything. So it's just a light little layer on there. And then we're just going to put a small blob just in the rear where the wire pokes through on each stabilizer. Not too much, just a little bit. No, you're going to throw money at me? It's fine, dude. Don't worry about it. I'll send you some. Okay. ANSI enter stabilizer going in. There we go. Okay. Right shift. Using them right now. I think it's the closest my keyboard has sounded to those ASMR videos. Yeah, I can't type nicely enough to do ASMR videos. I can type fast enough, just it looks terrible because I don't have a correct typing technique. Okay, way too much lube here. Way too much lube here. We'll be okay. I actually have the LP record that Teha and Future Crime did a couple of years ago as well. I have one of those lying around somewhere in the office. I don't have a record player, but I do have that. Okay. How quick can I do the Rubik's Cube? In about 5 minutes. I'm not particularly quick. I don't know the official way to do it. I just know the way that I've worked out, which I suspect is one of the easiest ways. There's still some things that I can't do with the Rubik's Cube, so I probably do it in a really obscure way sometimes. So I tend to end up unsolving some things to resolve them. Yeah, about 5 minutes. I've never really tried to teach myself to do it fast. Kiwi Keeps, hey man, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Reminds me, my girlfriend types the same way as I do. Oh no. Less speed though. Yeah, I usually about 75, 80 words a minute, which isn't terrible. Being able to do the Rubik's Cube isn't impressive. Like, I make a mess of it. Like, there's people who can do it in 5 seconds flat. I can't do that. I wouldn't know where to start. I don't know how they can do it that quickly. I don't know how you can assess what even needs doing that quickly. But yeah, I can get through it. Okay. Just gonna put the left shift in the board. Such a Rubik's Cube. Yeah, so I find it like a distraction. Like I'll just mess it up for a minute while I'm thinking something through, and then I'll start the process of solving it after I've messed it up. Like I'll just mess it up and just not even really pay attention to what I'm doing, and then I will literally sit here for like a couple of minutes and think, right, okay, how am I going to solve this? What do I need to do to solve this? And that thought process tends to help me work out what I need to do. But I do it in a very obscure way, I'm sure. I'm sure I don't do it in the correct way. So go for a side, and then I try and plug the middle gaps in. So I will try and, from here, I would then look to see what I could move down. And I see that the red one here needs to go in this gap here. So I have like a little move that I do that allows me to move it to there. And then I just keep going around and I see, okay, so the white and orange one needs to go in here. So I would do my little move again. And then I messed it up, you see. So yeah, it doesn't always work out. Wait, what did I do there? See, I messed it up. I'm not a professional at the Rubik's Cube in any way, shape or form. Right, okay. Let's see if we can do it in a minute. If we get to the end of the stream, and we've got a little bit of time left, I'll actually try and solve it from beginning to end. Right. Right shift. Jay, that is my exact cube on my work desk. Is it the same one? I got this given a while back. I've had it a little while. I don't really know where it's from or anything. But yeah, I can solve it in about 5 minutes usually. If you guys really want to see me do it, I'll do it at the end of the stream. Just ask me at the end of the stream if you want to see me do it, and I'll do it. Hi Jay, who are mech mods, a competitive vendor? Thumbs, I don't know mech mods. I know of them, I don't know them. No, I don't think I've ever spoken to them. So yeah, it's not someone I work with, no. Apologies about that. Rubik's Cubist. No, I wish I could solve it in like 5 seconds. I just never. I wouldn't even know where to start on how to learn something like that. Like, I can just about do it now, and I don't know if I do it even in the right way. But if you guys really want to see it, just remind me at the end of the stream, and I'll do it. It's the product of a very long childhood. PT speed bumps. Speed cube when? No. Been bumped? Who's been bumped? I don't know what you're bumping that for. Okay. Weighted speed cubes? I'm not sure. You mean slowdown cubes? You've never raided their B-stock bin. Dude, you raid my B-stock bin every time you come round. There's always something you want. Okay, spacebar left. I think there's only one position that this can go in. I think, yeah, that makes it a little bit easier. Does a beekeeper only ever have bee stock? Yeah, they have stocks of bees. Lots of prototypist ideas. Yeah, we're still working on the coffee. I've actually got a meeting about that later on in the week to talk about the coffee. So we'll see if it happens. Like, I don't want to do too much, like that it's not going to sell and it's going to go off and it's going to be a waste of coffee. But I'd like to do enough that people can get it if they want it. Hey Woody, thanks for being here, man. You'll purchase all my stock? What if I get a load of PT coffee and you'll buy it all, will you? Nah, you don't want to do that. But we will get some in at some point soon. I'm not sure when. Part of the meeting is to understand the timings of it, and then I can start to advertise it. You have another huge shipment. I don't know if we've got a box big enough for the stuff that you've ordered, actually. Group buy coffee. It won't be group buy. We'll just do it. We'll just do it and put it in stock. Like we'll literally have like a flash sale on it. Like you'll be able to buy it for this 1 hour or something. For the culture. Nah, I'm not doing group buy the coffee. That would be silly. I mean, I have a few F18Xs, and I have a Frog TKL as well. I haven't seen anything that I would class as terrible QC. I think with QC you have to remember that things are priced differently just because of the way Gion does his model. So he's trying to aim to get things as cheap as possible and do as large bulk as possible. So, but to do that, you do have to have slightly less strict QC results. So, I think you need to bear that in mind. I think. Blackbrook, hey man, good to see you. Oh yeah, I think we do have a couple of those big boxes. Yeah. What do I think of KBD fans quality? I've not had an issue with KBD fans. Most of my first introductory boards to the hobby were from KBD fans. One of the first boards I built a long time ago was the first ever KBD 67. Not 67, KBD 75. So yeah, I've never had a real issue with it. And I think a lot of their products are solid. Some of their products aren't for me, but I think, you know, they work hard. They put out good products. Keycaps specifically. Oh, I haven't tried the new PBT fans keycaps. I don't have a set of those. We have got some on order that we're going to be putting in stock, so I will try a set of those out before we do put them in stock. And we'll see how they are. No, I didn't start with the KBD 75, but it was one of my early boards. It was one of the first boards that I actually built myself rather than get someone else to build them. Yeah, it was a long time ago now. It was I can't remember what color it was originally, but I had it powder coated bright orange. I think I sold it to someone in the Netherlands in the end. I think they were in the Netherlands or maybe Scandinavia somewhere. I'm not quite sure. Somewhere around there. Somewhere Northern European is where it ended up going. But that must have been 5 years ago now. Okay, there we go. Right, time for some switches. Let's get some switches in the board. 75 guy from the start. Nice. Orange boards do well in the Netherlands. So do orange cars, right? I think it was in the Netherlands where I sold it to. I think. I can't remember. It's like 5 years ago since I sold it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where it went. Like 90% sure that's where it went. Okay, switch time. Okay, so we are building this as the F13 version. Oh, these switches are going to hold in nicely. I like that. So sometimes when you do plateless builds, the switches don't really get held into the PCB properly, but these are holding in lovely. Step caps, right? Yeah, step caps. There we go. Yeah, these are holding in nice. Wait, was it switch positions there? No. Okay, we'll figure out the bottom row in a second. Are they the first to do triple shot keycaps? No. So we actually had, if you go all the way back, Sony actually used to do quadruple shot keycaps back in the day. So yeah.
Incredible.
Zastrox, thank you so much for the follow, man. I appreciate that. Triple shot keycaps aren't really anything new, but they are new to the keyboard hobby. This is kind of like, because keyboards kind of hit their heyday in the mid-90s and they were used for all sorts of things and manufacturers there for many different things, it kind of lost a lot of ground when things started to go away from mechanical stuff as standard to rubber dome stuff. And then when the hobbies kind of brought it all back over the past 10 years or so, there's kind of like been a whole raft of stuff that's seen as a bit of a dark art that's kind of lost. So stuff like how to do proper triple shot was triple shot 5 years ago wasn't even a thing. You couldn't buy triple shot caps, but 20-30 years ago they were doing quadruple shot caps. So it really depends on how you want to look at it. But yeah, it's good to see that all this kind of manufacturing technique's been refound and has been brought back to it. Domikey's pretty good. I've had positive experiences with Domikey. Kurtzen, hey man, thank you very much for being here. Typing on DMK triple shot set right now. Yeah, their double and triple shot's pretty good. You live in the Caribbean? Nice. Whereabouts in the Caribbean do you live, Thok Thumbs? They only do triple shot on the sub legends. The PBT fans do double shots on the whole keycap to give them a layered effect. Yes, they do. Yes, you're right. DMK Midnight? Yeah. It shouldn't be too far away now. I think it's it should hit my the warehouse in China any day now. I don't know exactly when, but it should be any day. Should be one day this week. And then we'll get it shipped over to the UK as soon as we can after that. Okay. Yeah, Domikey Hush does look nice. I have seen that. Okay. Almost done with the easy keys. I say the easy keys because we have to work out where we need to put keys on the bottom row. Now, luckily this PCB is one that's labelled, so we can use the labels to work it out rather than having to use keycaps to make sure we've got the bottom row correct. Thanks, Kiwi. Take care, man. Blush linears are really nice, Skimson. Okay. So, we need F13. And then we need a gap to that. And then we're going 1 U apart, which is there. And then 1 U apart, which is there.
Incredible.
And then 1 U apart, which is there. Incredible. Thank you so much, UK AGM. Thank you so much for the follow. We might have just enough switches here. Because we're doing this plateless, we might have to just straighten up a few switches after we finish the build as well. Sometimes some of the switches are not held in by all 5 pins on the base, so we just need to be careful with that. Okay, there we go. That looks like it's correct for the top row. That's all gonna line up nicely. Right, now we can work out the bottom row. So we need to do a 1.5U key, which should be there. Let's just check that. 1.5U, yeah. And then we are missing the 1U here because it's a wing keyless board. We've got wing keyless blockers, so we missed the 1U here. And then we want the 1.5U here, which is there. That's nice and simple. And then again, we've got the 1.5U here, which I think is there. Yep. And then we miss a key. And then we've got the 1.5U again, which should be there. Yes, there we go. So that's all of our switches in the board. We may need to, because we're using this plateless and there's no plate to keep the switches aligned, we might need to tweak some after we put keycaps on, so just to realign them. So we'll see how we get on with that. It might just mean desoldering them to realign them a little bit if they're a little bit too wonky. Sometimes we can fix that in situ, sometimes it's easier to just take the switch out and redo it. So we'll see how we get on. Oh, we've missed one for backspace. Look, missed the switch for backspace. There we go. Right, okay, so first thing I'm going to do now is I'm just going to check for bent pins, and then we're going to crack on with soldering. If you guys have any questions for me, you can tag me with @jprototypist, and you can ask any question whilst we're soldering about any topic. It can be keyboard related, it can be car related, it can be related to any topic you would like, as long as it's Twitch safe for me to answer and I'm not going to get banned from terms of service. So I'm just checking that everything is fully pushed into the PCB, that we've got no bent pins. So I'm just going through each switch, just making sure everything's correct just before we go any further with the build. Don't see any bent pins so far, which is good. Better to check now than be sorry later. Okay, looking good. Right, time to start soldering. So yeah, if you've got any questions for me, guys, just tag me with @jprototypist, and you can ask any question you would like. Tag me just to make sure that I can see it. Too few boards in the budget category give an ISO option, which you prefer. I don't think that's necessarily true. There's lots of boards out there that do support ISO. A lot of the boards that we sell at Prototypist offer ISO. Some don't, I agree, but many of them do. ISO is a very much a minority layout in the hobby, let's say. It's not used by many people, so a lot of designers don't tend to include support for it, but there's quite a few boards out there that do support it. Pretty sure the Freebird TKL that we ran offered support for it. Mammoth 75 as well. Bubble 75 supports it, which is in stock right now, and you can pick those up. The Zoom 65, I believe, supports it as well. Going from memory here, so if I'm wrong on any of these, just tell me, guys. Vintage Kisses, how was your weekend and how are you? Weekend was good. What did we do at the weekend? Saturday I went shopping with the wife for some food and did our weekly food shop. We took the dog out for a nice long walk. That was quite good. And then we just stayed at home and watched some movies and TV in the evening. Sunday we had family over, so I had to nip out and do some stuff early in the morning, do a little bit of work as well from home, and then we had family over for a late lunch about 3 o'clock. We had roast chicken dinner, which was nice. And then on Sunday night, the reason why I wasn't streaming last night is because Mel, who works here at PT with me, and we went to a little car show, which is a few miles away from here, which was good fun. So we took over my Datsun 240Z. I drove that, and then we took over my Subaru Legacy, the GT Spec B, which Mel drove, and then we met up with a few people up there. There was probably about 25 cars in total. It was a good turnout. We had a chat with a few people. It was just nice. It was just nice. So that was a good night. And then it was to work today. So back to work today. Okay. So it was a good weekend all round. Hot swap ISO is simple enough. It just makes a few of the switches have to rotate. Yes. The QK65 ISO option was meh for me, only available in a 7U spacebar. 7U is the best though. That's like the best bottom row. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the QK65. We will be holding it here at PT, so it should be good. Interesting to see how that one goes. going to do the arrow cluster keys now. I'm getting it out of the way, and we've just got effectively a 60% solder after that. Hershey asked the question. He says, "Are you likely to have more Matrix Labs group buys in the future? I only found out about the IM Plus meta after it ended. I appreciate your extras policy." We didn't run the IM Plus meta. We did run the 8X V 3.0 for Albert and the rest of the Matrix team. I don't know is the honest answer. We've run a few group buys with them. We did switches, then we did the 8XV, and then we did the Shuri Key Matrix 01 keycaps. But it all depends on Matrix Labs. If they want to run more boards with us in the future, I'd absolutely be down for it. They're one of the best makers in the hobby right now. We didn't put a switch in spacebar, which we need to rectify. We'll do that at the end. How did I miss that? So yeah, it's all really up to them. If they want to use local vendors, they can do. But they don't always, so we'll just wait and see. Which boards will you keep for sure? In other words, what are your favourites? Balaba, I'm not actually sure. I'm not counting any boards that Prototypist as an entity owns, which Prototypist as a company does own a lot of the prototypes that we've made over the years. And a lot of the kind of like the JO1 and JO2 series are owned by Prototypist rather than owned by me personally. The ones that I'm going to keep are boards that mean a lot to me and have significant meaning or influence on my time in the hobby. So there's a few boards that I won't ever get rid of. And then there's a few boards that I will be able to take or leave, I think. And then there's a lot of boards that just don't really have any meaning to me. They're just nice to have. And those are the ones that will go first, basically. So Mel and I are actually going to work on that list on Friday. So if you are interested, it'll be posted into Twitch sub chat next week, I think, in terms of what's for sale from my private collection that you can buy. So yeah. I'll struggle with the Matrix boards actually because Matrix Labs are one of my favorite designers right now. I think Matrix Labs and then Justin over at JJW. I think those are the two big people in the hobby to watch right now for me. Justin's doing amazing things with Cloudline and Derivative and Moment, and then Matrix Labs just knocks it out of the park with everything that they do right now. Their coatings are so obscenely nice compared to other options on the market that, yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm impressed with those. Alaric says, would you personally use Retro Mizu? Yeah, I have it on a board. Retro Mizu is kind of fun. It's Mizu colors, but then with it's like a retro 8-bit font on it, which is kind of nice. It's good. Yeah, we have it on the Allison prototype, which is up on the shelf, just up there. So yeah, it's a nice set. I like the whole retro aesthetic to it. There was another set years ago that was run by someone in the 40s community that had a very similar font. I think it was called Retro 80s or something. I can't remember, but I have got the set somewhere. Yeah, I don't know where that was run from originally actually, but I do have that somewhere. Sounds like a beautiful weekend. It wasn't bad. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Thockthumbs says, do you follow any sport, football, team, etc.? EPL just started, for instance. I follow the Formula 1, and that's about the only sport I follow, but I do follow it pretty in depth. I'm a big Formula 1 fan, McLaren fan primarily, but basically I just want any of the British drivers to do well. So yeah, but I follow the F1 religiously, to say the least. In terms of other sport, not really. I'll watch some like big events, like I watched the women's soccer finals for the Euros. That was quite good, but I don't really keep up with much of the sport. Imagine using 10U space. I have 10U on the Pandora 60 actually. It's just up there. We have 10U on that board. I have two W180s that should be arriving soon, and both of those will end up with a 10U spacebar. I have a raw one and a pink one. I'm just waiting for hex keys to start shipping those, and then we'll get a build stream up of them. We'll probably build them both together actually at the same time. Was tempted to put 10 support for a board I designed. You should do. Yeah, you should do. UK AGM. Yo, it's Alex M. Stream is good, mate. Thanks, man. How you doing? How you doing? I've got a package to ship out to you. I hope you're doing well, dude. I'll be in touch tomorrow because we finished it off today, but it was quite late, so I didn't want to message you then. I wouldn't have had you down as a Twitch stream watcher. Why is the Tsukuyomi kit so expensive? Just that's how much it costs. It was not cheap to produce. It was expensive to manufacture. It's for sale cheaper with us than it was with other vendors for extras. So, yeah, that's the answer. You have to remember that it's milled from CNC, and it's CNC milled from chunks of aluminium. So yeah, it was expensive. NAS says, can I have a random keyboard coated by Matrix Labs for myself? I don't think so. I don't think they offer that as a service. Thoughts on Piastri taking Ricciardo seat? Inevitable. I think the drama with Piastri over the past week has been quite entertaining, but I think the reason why Alpine suggested that he was driving for them was due to contract negotiation timelines and things like that. I think they were just trying to get ahead of the curve. It was kind of fun to watch, but yeah. It was good and interesting, but I think that they did that for legal reasons. They knew that they didn't have him, and they did literally just announced it that way with the very specific wording they chose, purely to be okay from a contractual perspective. I don't think they ever actually expected Piastri to be driving for them. So I don't think it was a mess up from them. I think it was a specific action taken for some specific contractual reasons. So yeah. But Piastri, I feel sorry for Daniel. I think that that's going to be a struggle for him now. But I think that it's good for McLaren overall. To have two younger drivers. Lando Norris is knocking it out of the park. I think it'd be good to see Piastri up against him. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Big Twitch fan, mate. Geek at heart, you just never knew. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. So for those of you who don't know, Alex and I used to work together a long time ago. So UK AGM, we used to work together a long time ago. Yeah. It's scary how long ago that is, Alex, actually. It's like 5 years ago. It's crazy. Right, okay. All soldering done. You mostly watch women's football? Nice. Nice. Banter God. You know I'm an F1 fan, Banter. You know I'm an F1 fan. Right, okay, so we're all soldered up, all ready to go. Oh, spacebar. We forgot to do the spacebar. Let's do that really quickly. How did we forget to put a switch in the spacebar before? I don't know. But let's do that really quickly. There. Let's get that done super duper quickly. And then we can take the case apart and we can start to figure out the mounting. Okay, that's that done. You forgot to backspace earlier too, did we? Backspace is in. Backspace is there. We didn't miss that. You're forgetting the spaces? No, there's no switches here. It's a wing keyless board. There's nothing going there. Eneos, behave. Behave. What do you need to do if you need to fix pinging stabilizers with a soldered key? Usually desolder, but this is a plateless build. There's no plate, so we can take the stabilizers out whenever we need to. We could have actually fit the stabilizers after we put the switches in on this one. You accidentally built it, Ansi. That was the customer's request. This is the layout they requested, so that's how we've done it today. Right. You guys, what do you like? Chaos. Yeah, causing chaos again. You guys are always causing chaos. Okay. So, time to take the case apart. This lovely lavender case. Do we need this size or the next size up? Next size up. No plate means easy access to stabs. Yeah, it also means a more interesting typing feel. Depending on the board, I can enjoy it, and sometimes I don't enjoy it. I have a AO6 board that's plateless, and I don't really enjoy typing on that as much as I enjoy typing on the IDB60, which is also plateless, because of the different sizes of the boards. Perhaps the mount's slightly different as well. Okay, let's drop those screws out. Seems like that one's not quite unscrewed properly. There we go. Okay, so now we can pop this in. Over 5 years now. Yeah, it must be about 5 years. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's whenever you left the bank, because you left before I did, so it'll be whenever that was. I know we met up a couple of times afterwards, but it'll be whenever that was. Right, okay, so for those of you who don't know, the way that this mounts is we're going to have little tabs that attach to the front and rear edge of the PCB, and then they're going to attach over this lip of the case here, and then over this front lip as well. So if you see here, there's like a little lip. Now normally you'd put O-ring in here. You'd set an O-ring on that little lip there. Come on, camera, focus, please. Camera, please. There you go. On this lip here, but we're going to put the little clips that hang over onto there as well. 2018? Yeah, it sounds about right. Sounds about right. A long, long time ago now. We will need the O-ring, so the O-ring is going to go in the top case, so we'll get that ready as well. Those are the rubber feet that we'll need at the end. Yeah, you left 2018, I left 2021. Wait, no, 2020. I left in 2020. Okay, we need these little screws. So these little screws are called grub screws. So if you ever see a screw without a head, it's called a grub screw. And that's what we have here, which we're going to use to hold these in place. So you see here that these are little grub screws. They don't really have a head on them. Where's that? I can't see it. There we go. And then we've got some spare case screws, but we don't need those. These are the little clips that we've got. Got to drop. If you want to watch the new Buzz film, see you later, man. Take care. Okay, and these are the little clips that make it plateless. So we're basically going to clamp this to the PCB. See here, it's got a little clamp where the screw goes through. PCB is going to sit in that slot, and that's going to clamp on. And then this is going to clamp over the edge here. So it's just going to sit on there, just like that. And that slides up and down. Now, we probably want to use 6 of these. So we're going to probably arrange them in kind of this sort of scenario position. So we're going to have one there, and then probably one over here. Get one close to the middle. Now, we don't want one near spacebar too much. So we're going to try and aim for to have one over here. One just after spacebar, I think, just to support here, just so it gives a consistent feel across the bottom. And then we want another one that's just going to go there. So that's roughly how we're going to lay these out. We're going to connect these up to the PCB first. And then once we've connected these to the PCB, we're able to put the board back in. It should just clip straight down. And then we should be able to go from there. Novelas, thank you so much for the follow, man. I really appreciate that. Redeem stretch? Yeah, let's have a stretch for a minute. Ugh. Right, okay. So, first things first. Let's aim to put these bottom ones pretty much where the blockers are going to be, I think. That should work nicely. So what we're going to do is we're going to put one in place. Then we're going to pop the little grub screw in place. We're going to grab our smallest screwdriver that we need for it. We need one size up from that. I'm just going to screw that down. Oh, we still need one size up from that even. Interesting. These are not as small as I thought they were. There we go. And we're just going to tighten that up until it clamps onto the PCB. Don't want to go too tight, just until we feel a bit of resistance. And that's the clamp installed. If the focus works. The clamp's now installed. We're going to install the rest of the clamps now around the board. And then we'll be able to drop the PCB and plate assembly in. Just going to start the screw off into the hole first. And then we'll pop it onto the board. When are we going to get a hydrate for points? I think you can hydrate for points. I think we did have that. Okay. And then we just want to put the final one on. I think we're going to try and pop it in between the switches here if we can. If there's enough room to pop it here, we will do. Yes. So we're just going to pop this just here in between the two switches there. It's really hard to see because they're dark and it's a dark PCB and plate. I apologise. Just received your TX clubs today. Don't have a new keyboard to put them on. Sounds like it's time to buy a new keyboard. Okay. Then we're going to put the top three in. Now we're going to put the top one for the right just here, in between the switches again. Always time to buy a new keyboard. Any plans for the Lodestone group buy? So I was working up with a guy called Flex, who's absolutely amazing, and I love him very much. But we just haven't had the time to work together on anything for a long time, so it's kind of on indefinite hiatus at the minute. So we'll see how that goes. And we're just going to pop one towards the middle. We're going to make sure that it doesn't align with the screw point in the case just here. I think we should be okay there. We'll check it in a second. Just going to try and drop that into place, make sure it lines okay. That's going to look okay. It's going to miss there as well. Then we're just going to put the final one in just up in this corner. Yeah, it was at the PT Open Day as well. Like, we have working prototypes of it. We've just never got around to actually doing more than prototyping it. And that's fine, you know, we're both busy. Okay. Right, okay, so those are now all of the clips put in place. I'm just going to see and make sure that we can align this all together. So I'm going to put the clips all in, make sure it actually clips down. Seems like the plate is just getting stuck a little bit. Let's see if we just need to give this some gentle persuasion. Oh, I see what the issue is here. Just going to have to move this one slightly to the side a touch. There we go. Okay. So there we go, plateless build is in place. Let me try and show you this up close, guys. So you can see it's got these three little black clips across the top. That's attached to the PCB. That's holding it onto the groove, which is where the gasket would usually sit. We've done the same on the bottom row. Now it's time to prep the top case. So for the top case, we have a little groove that runs the full length in here, up against the edge. That's where the O-ring is going to sit. Then there's a little gap for the USB, and there's a little bit more there, and there's a full stretch all down the front. So what we're going to do is cut some O-ring to size for each of those little gaps. We're just going to put the O-ring into the gap. We're going to take up our flush cutters. We're going to see where we need to cut. I'm going to just trim that and then fit the O-ring into the gap. So you can see now there is an O-ring situated in there, the little black mark, that's the O-ring. That's situated in there nicely. Camera focus, please. Come on, camera. You can do it. There you go. Little black O-ring in there. We're going to do the same for the full length across here and then the front edge as well. And just like so, you'll now see that we've got that little black gasket material all the way in there. Then we can pop the top case on top of those. That's just going to hold all of the tabs together nice and neatly. He saves. Should do. There we go. And then we can flip the board over. And then we can pop the screws back in. Wasn't the Lodestone the one with magnets? Yeah, we have a working prototype here. It is difficult to replicate. It doesn't. So the prototype we have didn't exactly work how we fully intended it to. Despite tests prior, it didn't work exactly how we intended it to. Okay, now we've done that, we can put the little rubber feet in. Just these cover up the screws. And then once these are in place, we'll be ready for some keycaps, which it's your guys' turn to choose. You will get to choose whichever keycaps we put on the board. Only for test purposes, I'm afraid these aren't going to get sent to you, but you will get the board back, of course. Okay, feet installed. Board all installed. Looking good. Let's pop all of the little bits we don't need back in the box, so we can send them back to the owner. Love a TKL. Yeah, this is a quite pretty one as well. Right, guys, it's now time for you guys to pick which keycaps we're going to use. So, I'm going to get up a poll, and once I've got a poll up, you guys will get to vote and pick which keycaps you'd like to see. So, new poll, which caps? Oops, why is that in capitals? Okay, so first choice today is GMK DMG. Camera, please. There you go. GMK DMG. The second option is GMK Vaporwave. And then the third option, because there's only 3 options today, GMK Taro. Those are your 3 options. Let me get the poll up. There you go. The poll is running. You guys can vote for any of those 3 keycap sets that you would like to see. Those are the options: DMG, Vaporwave, or GMK Taro. Let me know in the poll what you would like to see. The poll's just over there. Wait, no, it's over there. Depends on where you're viewing. Could be either side. Let's see what people pick. You still want DMG even though Taro might fit? Yeah. Cherry Taro? We haven't got Cherry Taro in yet. We have GMK Taro, but the Cherry Taro from Novel Keys is on the ship that arrives in a week or so. So until that comes in, we won't have it. I had to pick up the DMG with the credit. Nice. I'm Brew. Ew. Oh, you just ruined it there. You said you've done something with the credit, and then you say ew. That's not how this works. I'm not Scottish. I wish I lived in Scotland because I think it's beautiful there, but I don't, and yeah, I do like it. The Hyper 7's big brother. The Hyper 7's a pretty big board actually. I still have 3 of them, inexplicably. Any idea when origami will come in? Yeah, you can check it on the updates. It's all on the updates. Kish was faster than I was. I tried the 1901 for the first time this weekend. It's so nice. It's delicious, right? It's really good. It's really good. Like it's delicious. It's how Iron Brew should be. It's how I remember Iron Brew from when I was a child, which is saying something because that was a very long time ago. A very long time ago. I don't know. It's a long time since we designed the Hyper 7 Shack Bait. Like that was 3 or 4 of us from MK UK 4 or 5 years ago. We designed the original ones, and Yankar did the PCBs. So yeah, it's a long time since. But the original Hyper 7 had 0 stabs. It's only the new one that mech boards have done that has stabilizers on it. Like the original one didn't have any stabilizers in it at all. Like the first one that I took to a meetup in 2017, I think it was, had no stabilizers in it whatsoever. The largest key on it was 1.75U, I think. I don't think we had any 2U keys. Oh no, we did have some 2U keys, but the 2U keys all used 2 switches. They were POS caps, point of sale caps, rather than stabilized caps that had 2 switches under them. So there was no stabilizers in the original run. No, there was just no stabilizers. I mean, Scoop Daddy, I did work on the design for the original Hyper 7, so it was kind of like a project between 5 or 6 of us in total in MK UK. There was 4 or 5 of us that came up with the idea and talked about wanting to do it, and then Yankar designed the PCBs. So yeah, but the original had 0 stabilizers in it whatsoever. There was no stabilizers in it at all. The original PCB was just switches. Any cap that was bigger than 1.75U had 2 switches underneath it. So yeah. Just a casual 11% sugar. There you go. What's that base kit you're linking to? Wait, did they actually run that? Did they run the base kit group buy? I thought that was like a... I thought that was a meme. Did they actually run it? Did they actually run that? I didn't think they had. I would have bought one for sure if I'd known that that actually ran. Taylor is a mad lad. Right, okay guys, you've got very little time left to vote. GMK DMG is winning, but Vaporwave and Taro are miles behind. So if you want to see either of those, I think you need to do something about it now. But it looks like DMG is going to win. Started as an April Fool's. I knew it was an April Fool's. I didn't actually think it was going to run. But if it did, fair play to them. Fair play. DMG is one of the GOATs. It is a really good set. It is a really nice set. People tagging me. Best PCB mentor with his crazy ideas. Nice. DMG will be nice on it. I think DMG is going to win. There's like 5 seconds left. Unless someone's going to do some crazy votes, DMG is going to win. So let's flick over the camera. Let's get DMG ready. You watch. I won't have. It'll be on another board here, and I won't have all the keys in it. Let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can see the board come together. So there we go. There's the keyboard. Let's get the keycaps out. Okay, well first off, I know we don't need the ISO enter, so we can get rid of that. We do need the 7U spacebar, which is neither of those two. Where's the 7U? There it is. Ooh, flexi. We don't need that and that. We can use the accent. Let's go for the accents. See how the accents look. We'll just use the 2 accents. If we don't like them, we can change them after. Speaking mad lads, did the ISO shield ever go further than the prototype? I paid for the prototypes and they have one here. I have no idea if you wanted to run it any more than that. I don't know. I genuinely don't know whether he did anything further with it. I didn't. I just funded the prototype, so I don't know any more than that. Well, we're going to annoy people here because we're going to go for mod colored. Oh wait, have we put that switch in wrong? Oh no, I thought we put the switch in wrong then. I think it's on a 65% keyboard that could fit ISO enters all the way left to right. Sure. That doesn't sound like the best of ideas, but you do you. You do you. Okay. This keyboard is about to look very Nintendo. It looks pretty good already, I think. That's not the right one. No. I did think that looked a little bit short. There we go. Okay. I think GMK NCD would look good on this. It would, yeah. It's a very, very nice set. Is NCD. It's one of my favourites from the past year. Let's even this out. Let's go for the full mod colored look here. Some of the ANSI users are going to absolutely hate this, but we do what has to be done. How about making it Topra and calling it the ISO Topra? Okay, it's starting to look more like a keyboard now. Now we're getting more of the keys in place. Now we don't have a key for F13, I don't think, in this set, so I'm just going to pop that up there, which is the multiply key from the numpad. Okay, looks like I've misplaced some keys already straight into the tub that I'm going to need for here. So let's see if we can find those really quickly. Unless I've used them on another keyboard. So what do we need? We need scroll lock. Let's see if we can find that. There must be a scroll lock. Where is scroll? Does it really not have a scroll lock key? Wait, what? This set's never been on a board before, so it is brand new. Ah, there we go. There's the lock key. There we go. And then we need to delete and end. Do we really not have these? There's the end key. Where's the delete key? Where's the delete key? Oh, there's the end key actually. That's the wrong profile. I thought that looked a little bit wrong. There's the end. And then we should have delete as well. We do. I'm just going to change out that print key because we do have the other print key that's got the correct color legend on it as well. So we'll just flip that out. I have just seen that with the blue legend on. Where did we put that? Put it back in the top. Nope. So I have just seen it. I've literally just seen this key. I've literally just seen it a second ago. There it is. There we go. So there we go, guys. That's the Geonworks F18X F13 Lavender with plateless build, graphite switches, graphite gold switches, TX stabilizers, and GMK DMG. Looks pretty darn good, right? What do we think, guys? How does that look? We will have extras, yes. How does that look? I've got to be honest, I think that looks pretty damn good. That looks really good. This, you might not get that back. Pew laser, it does look neat. I think the stabilizers need a little bit of work. The backspace sounded alright. Let's pause the music again and take a listen. So, alphas sound good. Sound nice and poppy. Sounds a little bit hollow as you get to the bottom of the board. Top sounds good. Up here sounds really good. No rattle, just sounds a little bit hollow here. Just sounds okay. Enter sounds good. Backspace sounds good. Shift sounds good. Just, there's no rattle here. It's just clacking on the bottom out a little bit much. Probably just needs a little bit of work. I'll try tuning the stabilizer for that. All of the keys look pretty straight. I can't see that we've got any that have twisted, which was something I was expecting to happen, and it hasn't, which is nice. These all look pretty straight. The more I look at them, the straighter they look. So that's pretty good. Usually it's the caps lock key because the switch is so far over this side. Usually there's a lot more play in it, but it looks good. Looks good. Sort of want this set now. Yeah, I don't think anywhere has it in stock right now, but of course you can pre-order it, and then the day we get it in, we'll ship it out to you. Big time Nintendo vibes, 100%. It's a beautiful set. Sounds so good. Pretty happy with that. It's quite bouncy as well. There's quite a lot of flex to it. It's difficult to show you guys, but there is quite a bit of flex to it. So there we go. Looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. This or Dual Shot. I think I prefer this, but Dual Shot is a really good set. Dual Shot looks really good on E-white boards or grey boards. I'm not sure it would look quite so nice on a purple board, but do you know what? This looks phenomenal. This looks really, really good. Z's, if you're still watching, I hope you enjoy the look of the board because it looks phenomenal. And if you ever don't want this, I'll buy it off you because I like this colour. This looks so nice. I'd change it to ISO, obviously, but this looks so nice. There we go. So it literally only took us an hour and a half to build this board. Usually it takes us 2 or 3 hours to build boards, but I don't know why. This just seemed to go together really nicely. Dead simply, dead easily. That's pretty good. Pretty good. The switches sound really nice. I haven't tried these switches before. I don't like the bottom out feel of them, but they're pretty nice. They're not terrible. You're thinking out your collection? Don't add more. Hey man. Hey man. That's Mel's job to nag at me about that, not yours. I have 6 F1s, I think. I think I've sold one recently. I'm not sure. Mel's been handling the sale of a lot of them. I had an E-white, burgundy, blue, black, polycarbonate. Is that it? I think that's all I had actually. Maybe I only had 5. Maybe I only had 5. What's the bottom out feel? Soft, harsh. I don't know. It's the switch. It's not the build or anything else. Like it feels almost like a long pole linear. I don't know if these are, but it almost feels like a long pole linear, and then you're bashing on the bottom, and then all of a sudden it's the PCB's flexing afterwards. So you're going clunk whoop, clunk whoop. It's kind of the only way I can explain it. But it's. I don't think it's necessarily the build or anything like that. I think it's just my personal preference. I don't like that feel. I just put inks in this and have done with it if it was my personal build, but it's not, so it's up to the customer what they want. And I think most people would absolutely love this. I'm just not really keen on the flexible feel. I think that's what it is. They are long pole. Yeah, I thought they'd feel like it. I don't know much about the switches, if I'm honest. You're helping to get on her good side. Okay. Thoughts on the F18X 72? It looks lovely. I don't own one. I didn't win one whenever it was up for sale. But it looks lovely. I love all of GeonWorks boards, to be honest. I haven't seen any GeonWorks boards that I haven't enjoyed. And I have got the W1ATs coming as well. So I have 2 of those. I have a pink one and then a raw one as well. They're both on the way. I've mentioned it to Garrett. I haven't heard back yet, so we'll see. But if I can, I will offer them. Yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes. Anyone know of any updates with Caps Unlocked? My money gone without got nothing. Caps Unlocked is defunct. The company's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. There's nothing left. That's it. It's done. It's nothing to do with Prototypist, so I can't advise you. But as far as I'm aware, there is nothing more happening in the space of Caps Unlocked, as far as I know. The company's just gone. That's it. It had no money. It had to close down. It went bankrupt. Yeah, that's it. If the company is still in existence and hasn't been closed down on Company's House, you may be able to reach out to the ombudsman or to the company that's winding them down, so that we'll have asset management team in, but to try and manage the closure of the business. You could try reaching out to those, but I can't offer any advice on that, I'm afraid. Yeah, that kind of sucks. What do you think of the frog? I do have a frog TKL. It is really nice. I haven't used it for more than a couple of hours, to be honest. We built it, it must be a year ago now on stream, and then it kind of got put in a cupboard and I have no idea where it is, so I haven't used it for probably a year now. But it was a nice board to build. It was lovely to build, and it did sit on the desk for a day or so. So yeah, it was nice. but I haven't used it for a long time. But it was lovely to build. Show me, what would you like to see, Sharkbait? You can redeem Show Me to show you anything that I have within reach. If it's something I can get within less than 30 seconds, I will get it to show you. So let me know what you would like to see. Probably the same issue with CFTKB. No news on my discipline, almost 2 years with no news. The 10U key you mentioned. Like, yeah, sure, I can grab that. Give me 1 second. This is the Pandora 60, and it has a 10U spacebar. Pandora 60, HHKB layout with a 10U spacebar, and GMK Midnight Rainbow, of course. It's a giant spacebar. Does Show Me have to be stream safe? Yes, it has to be stream safe. Where did I get the 10U spacebar? From the designer of the board. It's a little bit dusty. But the guy who behind this Kubicek, he had the 10Us for sale with the keyboard, so I bought one. It is Midnight Rainbow. This is GMK Midnight Rainbow, the GMK set that I designed. So yeah, it has USB pass-through. Mirrored weight, which has now got fingerprints on, and a rear knob as well. There is an issue with this board. The PCB doesn't work. I've been waiting for Coob to get back to me on that for some time now. He hasn't got back yet, but yeah. It's a cool board. Yeah, the Keycult-esque back, it's a little bit like the Keycults. How difficult is it to tune the stabilizer on that size space? No different than a 7U. Thought the knob was an aerial port. No, this is a knob. It is set for volume, is that? So it does control the volume on your keyboard. Sorry, on your PC, and it actually acts as a button as well, so that's mute and not mute. But yeah, the PCB has an issue when we built this, and I'm currently waiting for him to come back. Look how dusty it is. I'm currently waiting for him to come back with a fix for that. So there we go. It's fairly unique. I don't dislike the Pandora. I just haven't ever got to use it because the PCB hasn't worked since we got it out of the box. And I haven't had a replacement PCB yet from Coob. He did say he was going to fix it. And then he said he was going to send me a returns label, but we never got around to it. It's just one of those things. I'm sure the second I reach out to him, he'll want to fix it. But yeah, the PCB just doesn't work. So we'll see. But it's a lovely board. Yeah, we have an issue with the cleaners that come into the workshop. They aren't necessarily doing the cleaning that they should be. So we do have cleaners that come here to the workshop and they're supposed to clean everything. They don't. So we're paying for a service that we're not getting at the minute. It came with the board. It came with the board. The 10U keycap, the 10U stabilizer, which is actually an 8U stabilizer, came with the board. It all came with it. Ask Kiwi to clean. I don't think he'd do it. I don't think he'd do the cleaning. We literally pay a company to come in and do the cleaning for us, and they just don't. Like, well, they come in and they do the bare minimum, but they're supposed to come every week, every Friday. They come random days of the week. When we check, they've only been 6 or 7 times in the last 12 weeks, and they don't do everything that they're supposed to do, but I can't get out of the contract. Like, I literally can't. They refuse to let me out of the contract, even though I offered to buy it out. I said, look, I just don't want you guys coming in anymore. I will pay you to not come in. I'm like, oh no, we'll just send the cleaner every week. And then he comes every week. So it's difficult. They're like, oh no, you've got a 3-year contract. You can't get out of it. It's very disappointing. We mentioned to them that we want them to do, like, they don't sweep on top of the mezzanine, the top floor. They don't sweep up there. They should do. They just sweep the staircase. They don't sweep behind Mel's packing station, which they should do. They don't mop behind there either, which they should do. They don't turn up when they should. They don't wipe down the desk space that we have out there either. They should be wiping down the desks and getting all of the dust off, or vacuuming it or something. When they come in the office, they should be dusting everything. They don't. Like you've just seen on the back of that keyboard. They don't dust. Yeah. It's frustrating. We do most of the cleaning ourselves because they just don't turn up. And then they expect to be paid every month. And then when I don't pay them, they complain. Yeah. They're not living up to their end of the deal, but they don't agree with that. We report it back to them, and they say, "Oh no, we've done what's in the contract." And you read the contract, and it's like, "You haven't done half of this, but then you expect me to pay it." It's like, "Well, that's your word against ours." And it's like, "Well, but I'm here, I'm complaining," and they just don't want to fix it. JO1 in the back. Yeah, we have a JO1 and a JO2 here, and a Heidi TKL at the back as well. So that's a JO2, JO1, Heidi TKL. And this is the numpad for the Heidi TKL, which we use every single day here at the workshop. It is frustrating. It's very frustrating. I did say, guys, I was going to do the Rubik's Cube for you right at the very beginning of the stream. So since I've got a little bit of time, should we see if I can do this? I haven't done it for months now, so well, maybe not months, but I haven't done it for a little while. Let's see if we can do this. Right, okay, so that's all wrong. This is all wrong. This is all wrong. Okay. So what I'm doing here, let me show you the top-down view. What I'm trying to do here is to create the green side, but make sure that the colors match all the way around. So we've got all of the whites here. So next I need the orange and green one there, which is this one here. So we just go like that. It's in place. Then I want green and yellow because we know this has to be yellow. So I find the green and yellow. I put that into position. Just by sheer chance, it's put that one in there as well. But now we want to put the piece here in, which is there. So there we go. So that's how I do the first bit. So then that matches all the way around. Then we line it up to the middle bit, and then I need to work out which one needs to go in here. So we need to find the one that's red and yellow. So if we can find the middle piece that's red and yellow, well, it happens to be here, so we can't put it in yet. So then we say, well, yellow and orange is there, yellow and orange. So that piece there needs to move down to here. So we have a little move that we do. Puts the yellow and orange piece in there. Then we come around again. We need orange and white. So orange and white is at the top as well, so we can move that around. So we do the little move again. Put the orange and white piece into place. Then we can move the red and yellow pieces come out now, so we can move the red and yellow piece into here. So we do that. And then you can see we've now got the middle layer all done. So now we've just got the top layer to do. And the first thing we want to do is try and get a cross on the top. So there's a little move for that. So now we've got it aligned. And now you'll see we've got a cross on top. Then we're going to see if these are all in the correct places. So blue and red, yep. Blue and white, yep. Orange and blue, yep. Yellow and blue, yep. So then we need to work out where these corner pieces are. So we know that that one's in the right place. So there's like a little move we can do that will shuffle around the corner pieces on the top layer. And then we see if they're in the right place. So that one's in the right place. We know that's in the right spot. That one's in the wrong spot. That one's in the wrong spot, and that one's in the wrong spot. So we do the little move again. Just like so. And then we have another look. So that one's now in the right place, but in the wrong orientation, so that's okay. It needs to be red, yellow, and blue. It is red, yellow, and blue. That one needs to be red, white, and blue. It is. And that one's in the right place as well, just in the wrong orientation. And then we do another little series of moves, which takes a long time. This is the bit where I probably lose the most time. Where I try and manipulate those top blue pieces to match correctly. Just like so. And there we go. That's how I solve the Rubik's Cube. It's probably not the right way. That's probably like 5 or 6 minutes. I've never timed it, but it felt like it was about 5 or 6 minutes. That's the way I do it, but there's probably better ways to do it. So there we go. Oh, the J1 in the background you wanted to see. Yeah, okay, I'll show you. That's ridiculous. That's horrible. Oh, we're talking about the cleaners there. Witchcraft. Yeah, it is witchcraft. You want to see the JO1. This is the a JO1 Rev 1. It's not the OG JO1. This is a JO1 Rev 1. This is the prototype JO1 Rev 1. We check the timestamp and let me know how long it took. Did I lube the cube? No, it's just straight out of the box. So there we go. That's the JO1. But no, I didn't lube the cube. It's just stock. You can make fun patterns though. So you can make fun patterns. Just like that. So there we go. Such a sweet design. We'll be looking to pick one up on the aftermarket in a couple of months. What's that for, Andromeda? If you mean the JO1, we will have another run of the JO1 in the future. The JO1, I don't want to call it the Rev 2, but it's going more back to the OG style, but with completely new underpinnings. So we basically started from the ground up and redesigned the whole board from scratch. Is basically what we've done. We've done the same for the JO2, which is going to be the blackout edition, but the JO1 will be coming back as well. Is that the exact color you bought? It is the exact color you bought. Yes, Aneos, it is the exact color you bought. So there we go. Maybe I'll have to wait. Yeah, it won't be too long. I think we're going to do it as a pre-order rather than a group buy. So we're actually going to order these and have them on the way, and then we'll let you buy them that way. JO1 OG Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. Maybe? I don't know. Seems like a bit of a long name. Anyway, there we go, guys. That is the stream for today. It's now 10 PM in the UK, just about. So it's probably time for me to go home, get some rest, and then come back to work tomorrow. Keep up to date with the Insta stories and on Discord as well if you want to. We do share quite a lot on the Instagram usually. Today it was me going to the post office and being very upset about it. And then an update just before I started streaming as well. But yeah. That's the stream. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you again soon. Reach out in the Discord if you need me for anything. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.